These two young victims had dreams of going to college, but their plans were cut short by a senseless act of violence. August 30th, 1997 was probably going like any other night until it wasn't. Teela Hudson was a 17-year-old senior at Hot Springs High School. From everything I've seen, Teela was a wonderful person. She was described as a tomboy by her family who loved basketball. Teela Hudson was preparing to graduate high school. She wanted to go to college and become a computer programmer. She had a job at Applebee's, and actually that job was what she was doing on the night of August 30th. By everything that I've seen, Teela did enjoy spending most of her free time with her boyfriend, Frank Delaney. Now, Frank Delaney was a little bit different than Teela. Yes, he loved basketball, and I'm sure they had other things in common, but Frank Delaney had gotten into some trouble at school, and so he entered the Job Corps program. He had just completed the Job Corps program and actually been accepted to attend a Little Rock college. I don't think that Frank Delaney had actually ever been in any real trouble. He just got into some fights at school, which ended up with him going to the Job Corps program. So Teela Hudson was working a shift at Applebee's on Saturday, August 30th, and that shift ran into the 31st. The people at Applebee's actually said that on the night of August 30th, Teela Hudson was working with her brother, and they worked really well together. It was just a nice experience for them. So I saw some reports that said Teela was picked up from work at 1 a.m. and some reports said she was picked up at 2 a.m. So somewhere in that 1 to 2 a.m. window on August 31st, Frank Delaney picked Teela Hudson up from Applebee's. I didn't find any information on what happened between the time that Teela Hudson was picked up from work and 4 a.m., but just after 4 a.m. on August 31st, 1997, a man was in the area of Haiti Lane and Bald Mountain Road coming home from a late night fishing trip when he couldn't easily access his driveway because of a vehicle that was blocking the path. On the road, the man came up on a car that had the two front doors open and music blaring. The vehicle was a blue two-door Oldsmobile Cutlass. Reports say that inside the vehicle were the sprawled, lifeless bodies of Teela Hudson and Frank Delaney. Other than that, it's really confusing how the bodies were arranged. Many reports say that they were both in the back seat. One report that I saw said that Frank Delaney was in the back seat, but Teela Hudson was in the front seat, like with her knees in the floorboard and her head on the seat. So I'm not really sure about that, but they were all over the car and certainly not in positions like they were just sitting in the car. They had been shot multiple times. So this man, of course, calls the police. The police come and start processing the crime scene. Almost 2 months later, in October 1997, police found a handgun in Hot Springs Creek. And Hot Springs Creek was located 6 miles from the scene of the crime. They were able to do testing on that weapon, ballistics testing, and they did find that that weapon was one of the weapons that were used in the Teela Hudson, Frank Delaney murders. Investigators have said they do believe that there is more than one suspect in this case because there was more than one weapon used in this crime. That's really where the case just stalls out. An arrest has never been made in this case. Police say they do have persons of interest, but they've never had enough information to take to the prosecutor and get a charge. So, of course, that's where you come in. If you have any information about the murders of Teela Hudson and Frank Delaney, police are asking that you contact them with that information. After 26 years, it is time for these families to have justice. It is time for them to know who committed this awful crime against their children before they die themselves. They just really want closure in this case. So if you have any information about the murder of Teela Hudson or Frank Delaney, please contact the Garland County Sheriff's Office.